Hello, friends. I have come finally to the conclusion of my chapters today, and I think today I will be talking to you about my concluding chapter about my book, which my post crash period, which took me nearly about 7 or 8 years to recover from my going into the red, getting into the red to come back into the blue. I was down a couple of million, maybe 8, 9, something like that, million dirhams, and to continue doing business and running all these 5 factories was a challenge by itself. To get your cash flows, as you all know, businessmen, how you can make your cash flows run and what happens. But by God's grace, Sai Baba's grace, and whatever I can call it, I survived through that period, and I only know how. I don't want to go into details, but I had to struggle a lot to get what I have to get out of this situation. But in 2016, business was good, picked up all the 4 factories. It was a great step to take and open those 4 factories. Subsequently, Madagascar closed down because of the issue of the FTA going away, so I had to move away from Madagascar. Swaziland closed down because they lost the FTA. So I moved from Madagascar and Swaziland. I opened a factory in Lesotho, which is a kingdom near Africa, where my factory is today. And instead of Madagascar, I moved to Ethiopia, where we have our factory today. But at the moment, it's stalled because of the war, but it's there. And our Dubai verticals improved. We started in 2000, about 10 years back. We started with Mr. Surinder Kandhari, who owns Exide Al Dabovi and Eternity Technologies. And he started a big plant in Ras Al Khaimah making batteries for cars with Exide and forklift batteries for export to Europe. And I went for his opening and I saw this and I said, Surinderji, where are you getting all these batteries from? He said, we're importing the casings from Europe. So I said, why can't we make this? We're already making these car batteries for you in a small way. He said, that's a good idea, Rajan. So he sent his team the next day and he said, why don't we make this battery in Rajan's factory? So they studied, there was a European team that time. We studied, worked it out, and it all worked and happened. And within, I think, 3 to 6 months, we imported the machines, which are big machines. And we got the molds made out of China and Italy. And we started making these batteries. And today, we are making these batteries for him in its complete production. We are supplying the complete quantity is all bought by him. That made my second vertical work. After that, we got into the bucket business. The lady whom I bought this factory from was selling buckets in those days along with car batteries being made for them. So I bought that business from her, but for me it was a very small division of it and I was not taking great care of it because I was busy with the battery and the hanger business. So the bucket business suddenly became big, so I started focusing on that and today we've opened up, our bucket business has grown and we are supplying buckets and pails for the paint and the lubricant industry all over Dubai and UAE, and that is picked up. So for me, we have 3 verticals. Our hanger business has gone through the roof again, and we supply close to 25-30 million hangers a month out of our factories in Jordan, Kenya, Lesotho, and Ethiopia. Dubai, we are just making batteries and pails, and we are now expanding into a polybag project for Jordan, which is the big project. And my son is getting into a very big project in Abu Dhabi with some very special partners to make recycled plastic pallets, which he's doing of his own. I told him, do this on your own because I am done, retired. I want to take life easy. I want to lead a stress-free life. I've done what I have to. And with everything that I've done and having recovered and being in a comfortable position, the business is doing well. But all said and done today, my decision to move to Dubai was the best decision I made when I have friends coming from Dubai. And told them, but you had this business in India, which you had a great royal business. You were living like a king and you had everything. And now you have the same thing here. I said, no, I have the same thing here, but I have no stress, a peace of mind, the quality of life that our ruler and this city and this government has given us is matched to nobody. I have been to America, I have been to Europe, I have been everywhere, all over the world, because I'm fond of cruises. And every time I go into America, go to Europe, I feel like I'm in some kind of a third world country, and the airports are bad, the roads are bad, there's nothing happening there. There's crime, there's corruption, there's drugs, everybody's walking, getting scared of being mugged in cities like London and LA, and you know what's happening all over there. You know that. And then I sit down and think and see that when you come back to Dubai, right from the time you land in Dubai and the airport, it kind of amazes you. And the service, right from the immigration to your passport control, to your luggage, to the porter system, to the facilities for the handicapped, for everybody is so good that you can't match it. Not only that, but everything works in Dubai. I mean, whether you're in a business, I'm in Jafsa in the free zone, Jabal Ali free zone. I mean, you go to their office and you can start a company in a day's time. Can you believe that happening anywhere else in the world? Or you go to a bank, they are helpful to you. You go to get anything done, land department, RERA, anywhere you go, there is so much of ease of doing business. More than that, what we have been provided for by the royal family, by Sheikh Mohammed and the Dubai government, for which I am ever grateful to, and I admire this man who has had a vision, and he has given not only himself but his entire Emiratis and the locals and the expatriate population today. I think Indians are most of them. Most population must be Indians. A quality of life that nobody in this world can imagine. Imagine leaving your door unlocked at night and you're going in a taxi, a lady going in a taxi at 4 a.m. in the morning can be dropped back and come back safely. Imagine no corruption, no bribes, no taxes, no drugs, and no crime. Where will you get all this in the world at the comfort and the luxury of life? In India, when I owned my Mercedes car, I'll tell you this has happened to me. And I used to go on the roads, I could see the anger and the frustration and the hatred they had for a man sitting in his Mercedes car. I could see it because there was so much of a gap between the rich and the poor. I mean, I felt ashamed sitting in the Mercedes when these people were standing in the bus queue in a line for hours. And then somebody who was frustrated, actually, I have seen somebody come and scratch my car with a key or something else with a steel object just to take out their hatred against me. There is nothing like that here. Today you own a Rolls Royce, you own a yacht. There's nothing. They look at you and admire you, and nobody has any jealousy or nothing because the next guy also has it. So this is what I have seen, the quality of life and the ease of doing business in Dubai. And when my friends come from abroad, they say, यार ये तुम्हारे पास तो सब कुछ है. मैंने कहा मेरे पास सब कुछ नहीं है. मेरे पास सब कुछ था, मेरे पास उस वक़्त, अभी भी सब कुछ है ऊपर वाले की दया से. बट मेरा जो पीस ऑफ माइंड है, जो स्ट्रेस फ्री बिजनेस है, स्ट्रेस फ्री लाइफ है, वो मेरे लिए सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट है. मेरे को किसी का, आई स्लीप लाइक अ बेबी एट नाइट व्हेन आई पुट माई हेड ऑन द पिलो. दैट इज़ वॉट द लाइफ एंड क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ इज़. एंड दैट इज़ वॉट, and the safety of your family, that when your wife or your daughter or your son goes out at night, whether he'll come back safe at night or not, you don't have to worry about. They're all safe because this country, this city protects everybody so nicely that it is, I tell you, for me, it's paradise living over here. And I'm blessed to have taken this decision in 2000 to come to Dubai and be here. and live here. And this is where I live, and this is where I'll die. And that is why I'm saying that when I did it my way and took all my risks in life to do what I told you about, finally I have found the place I want to be in for me and my family. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I will end this today's podcast and the complete episodes of all my books. And it's going to be launched and it's going to be with you by next week, and it will be available everywhere for you to read. And when this episode comes out, this book must have already been released, and it will be available to you at all stores, on Amazon and everywhere else. And if you can't get it, just call me up or email me or phone me, and I will see that you get a copy of it. And I hope that you all get to read it, and wish you all the best. And I'll talk to you after my release with another feeling of how that release was and show you what the release was. Thank you. Bye.